still alive, I see. And since you're here, that means you weren't captured and hauled off to a Redoran dungeon. Good for you. Were you able to acquire the registry? And does it contain any information about Thea's brother, Ulron? Ulron was exiled? That can't be right. He's an exemplary officer and a good man. Plus, he's the son of a counselor. Why in oblivion would House Redoran banish one of their brightest stars? I can see that. There has to be more to the story, but I'm not sure how we get it. Still, you proved you could be trusted, and you admirably performed this task. So I suppose I should let you meet with Vea now. There's an abandoned cave along the coast. It's in the swamp and smells like rot, which makes it the perfect place to hide. Vea's supposed to wait inside, but she's bored. I know she's been sneaking out. You'll find her in the cave or just outside. Get to the swamp and find Vea. She's eager for any information about her brother, so she's really going to appreciate getting that registry. Just try not to be too charming when you meet her hero. She has enough distractions as it is. Well enough. Ulron and Vea used to sneak out to watch me train. I have a way with blades that fascinated them to no end. Eventually, our fondness developed between the three of us. And to think, I never even had a nick sound growing up. It's not like personal relationships are against the rules, though I suppose they are sort of frowned upon. Anyway, my assignments always brought me back to Vvardenfell, so we were able to keep in touch and visit even as they grew older. Anything's possible, but the Ulron I know holds honor above all else. I can't believe he'd do something so dishonorable that the house leaders would demand his exile. We need to find out more about what happened. Vea would face too many temptations here in Balmora. Friends, favorite places, familiar sights and sounds, not to mention the proximity to all things House Redoran. Even the most thick-headed house guard would eventually stumble over her. Oh, don't thank me, hero. As long as you're useful and don't betray us, then we're engaged in a mutually beneficial arrangement. Cross us in any way, however, and you'll never see my blade before it plunges into your heart. Vea's young, bored, and stubborn. That makes for a volatile combination. She wants fresh air and freedom. I can't blame her for that. I can blame her for assuming I'm not aware of her little excursions. I thought I trained her better than that. Danger's a relative term, especially when you're dealing with relatives. Vea can make her own decisions. If she wants to risk getting caught by House Redoran, that's on her head, especially since she knows they've been searching that area.
Oh, I think we should execute criminals on sight. But my captain won't allow it. Fine. Now get your stink away from me.
You're sure it's Vea? House Redoran isn't emptying its coffers so you can chase your own tails out here.
You pay the war claws well, because the war claws are the best there is. We have the kitten scent. It's just a matter of time before my warriors catch her.
Of course, Ferrara. Just make sure she doesn't get out of the swamp. I'll take my soldiers and guard the eastern paths, in case she eludes your warriors again. The Counselor's lackey. I understand you've made significant progress in your search for Vea. As a matter of fact, so have we. This whole ordeal will be over soon, and then you can be on your way, Outlander. My mercenaries have spotted Veya skulking about the northern portion of the swamp. Between my soldiers and Ferharar's war claws, the Councilor's daughter will soon be home safe and sound. Veya's brother? It's a sad story. Killed one of his own soldiers to protect an Ashlander of all things. I think they were being too lenient when they simply exiled him. But that's how they treat the privileged few. Ulron always had an unnatural attraction to the Ashlanders and their savage ways. He felt that an Ashlander life was worth more than a Redoran life. The Council didn't agree with his assessment. This will all be over as soon as Ferharar finds Veya. Khajiit mercenaries of the highest order. For members of a lesser race, Ferharar's warriors are surprisingly effective. I employ them to bolster our forces, between obligations to the Paladin is spread thin of late. As you say, Ferharar's war claws take their contract as seriously as you do, however. Get in their way, and I can't guarantee your...
Ferharar assumes the Councilor's minions will not present a problem for the war claws. Yes, Captain?
The Outlanders have been warned, Ferharar. I leave everything at a state of discretion.
Stupid walk.
By the three! You really shouldn't sneak up on a person like that. If you're working with those mercenaries, I assure you, you won't take me without a fight. Oh, right. Now you mentioned something about that. Look, I can't wait to hear what you learned, but the swamp is crawling with mercenaries. There's a cave to the northeast. We can talk there. Unfortunately, there's a mob of those beast people between here and the cave. I was going to try and sneak past them, but every time I get too close, I think one of them catches my scent. You're going to tackle that mob of fur and claws? I'm impressed. Meet me at the cave when you're finished. I think we have a lot to talk about. Oh, and try not to get killed. I really want to know what you came all this way to tell me. Meet me in the cave to the north when you finish with the mercenaries.
I can smell the dark elf kitten. Looks like we're the first ones here. I need aid.
Warclaws! Let's flay this outsider!
Aid me!
Up here! Hurry! show up. What do you think of my luxurious accommodations? It's got dirt and rock, fungus and a poultry fire, all the comforts of home. Anyway, you said you had information about my brother, Oran. What did you find out? No, that can't be right. Oran's honorable and noble. He's a model soldier. What could he have possibly done to warrant being banished? What? My brother has always been interested in the Ashlanders. Even showed them a kindness the rest of the house doesn't approve of. But for him to kill someone, especially one of his own soldiers, something terrible must have happened. I know the tribe that Oran liked to help, brought them supplies and such. He'd go and visit their camp whenever our father wasn't paying attention. Will you go with me to talk to them? Wait, someone's coming.
She can handle herself just fine, hero. Vea, grab your things. It's time to go.
Go? Why? What's going on?
The Warclaws are marching toward this cave, along with half the House Redwin soldiers in Balmora. We need to go now.
Damn it! They must have followed us. I'll get my stuff.
Dealing with an arrogant, impatient, overconfident young woman. Now I know how my mother must have felt. We need to move. It won't take those damn cats long to find this place, not with their sense of smell. The back tunnels. Better than heading out the front door and right into the main contingent of Redwin troops. Councillor Eris brought additional soldiers from town. He's intent on getting his daughter, and he may have the numbers to do it. One more thing. The back tunnels wind their way through territory that House Redwin recently acquired. We may run into some resistance, but it shouldn't be as bad as what's waiting outside the front of the cave.
Does the ceiling look unstable to you?
Search everywhere. Captain Privet thinks the Councillor's kitten might try to escape through these tunnels.
Damn! Those cat bastards are harder to shake than a blind date. I can't get captured and taken back to my father. Not when I'm this close to finding my brother. That must be the way out. I just hope there aren't any Redderans up there. Oh no. Father ruins everything. I'm so close to finding my brother, and he shows up to drag me back home.
If you
Well, I'm not going back without a fight. You do that for me. Thanks, I guess. But what can you possibly do against all those soldiers? My father brought the whole damn army with him this time. Clever. Tell my father whatever he wants to hear. That might actually work. Afterward, meet me at the Ashlander camp to the south. My brother would often visit that particular tribe. It's as good a place as any to start. Once I find Ulran and make sure he's all right, I'll meet with my father. But that meeting will be on my terms, not his. And tell him to call off his soldiers, or I might change my mind. That should buy us some time.
Halt! Who goes there?
Stand down. These outlanders work for me. The captain reported that he had seen you in the area. There are also multiple reports that Vaya has been spotted. Tell me, have you seen my daughter? I won't sleep well until she's home, safe and sound. I also said that the captain has his own resources. The war claws report to Briven, not me. Look, we're all just trying to get my daughter home safely. Now, tell me what Vaya's thinking. It was a gamble, I admit. An opportunity I couldn't let slip away. You won't make me feel guilty about trying to find my daughter. So, where and when will Vaya meet with me? Very well. We'll do this her way. Vaya can be as stubborn as her mother sometimes. But tell my daughter that my patience won't last forever. Next time, I expect Vaya to be with you. Or I might just let Captain Briven do this his way. Do as I command, and let them pass.
Well, there certainly aren't Ashlanders, not with those tales.
This is disturbing. I can't believe this. Why allow the Warclaws to run roughshod over the camp like this? What's House Redoran thinking? And what in the name of the three have they done with the Ashlanders? My brother often visited this camp. Took me along a couple of times. It used to be such a vibrant place. So full of life. I know House Redoran wants to expand along the western coast, but I never expected they'd set the Warclaws loose like this. If Ulran was here, he'd never stand for the Warclaws invading the camp. He told me the Ashlanders were the same as you and I. Different beliefs don't necessarily make people bad. We need to see if we can find out what happened here. I really want to help, but Naryu won't hear of it. We don't get our hands dirty unless there's a writ attached. She's so fond of reminding me. We'll hang around and wait for you to find something before we move in.
Vaya, I don't think this is a good idea. We're trying to keep you out of House Redoran hands, remember?
You're not my parent, Naryu. I can take care of myself, even if the Mother of Blades doesn't think so.
Damn it, Vaya. You know I hate that title.
Do not taste unclogged.
If I'd realized how popular this camp was going to be with Outlanders, I would have moved the tribe ages ago. You don't appear to be one of the heretical invaders, but looks can be deceiving. What do you seek, stranger? Ah, Ulran the Exile. He disgraced his family and lost his status, but remained true to his heart. Ulran is here. He tried to stand against the Redorans, just as they detained me within this yurt. I assume they dragged him off to the mine, along with most of the tribe who refused to let those tribunal dogs walk all over us. Or should I say tribunal cats in this instance? Be wary. The mine will be as protected as the camp, maybe even more so. It's a small hole in the ground, but it served us well until the Redderans and their war claws arrived. Now they toss my people aside and lock the door. Warclaw Irgazar carries the key, but there is a spare in the supply yurt. Get the key to the mine from either the Warclaw's commander or the supply yurt, whichever suits your needs. Perhaps you'll find what you seek within Kudanot's depths. To keep the head and the body separate. As long as I'm here, I can't offer my people hope or advice, and I certainly can't compel them to rebel against these invaders. I have no doubt. However, my place remains with my people, at least for now. The Warclaws have treated me well so far. They believe I can make their tails fall off if I so choose. Who am I to dissuade such creatures from their beliefs?
Kashif eats well and stays fit, but he will die.
The captain called them traitors and savages. Said the good roasting was more than they deserved.
Intruders! Warclaws, attack!
Down here! Come on! Wait. What's that smell?
Veya, stay back. You don't need to see this.
What happened here? Oh gods! They murdered these poor Ashlanders! Oh no! Oran! Oran! Wake up, please! You can't be dead. You just can't!
Veya shouldn't have had to see this. Even I'm finding it hard to believe that the mercenaries would slaughter these Ashlanders for no reason. Not to mention the son of a house councillor. Doesn't make any sense. I suppose anything could happen in the heat of the moment. But to kill a Redron, even an exiled one, that's presumptuous even for the Warclaws. I wonder if Eris knows about this. I'm not sure how Veya's going to get her answers now. I've seen these before. They use them in Eastmarch to record and send important messages. They're expensive and as rare as a sober Nord, but Oron was always attracted to the contrivances of other cultures. Shall we see what it has to say?
If you're listening to my voice, know that my time is short, and what I have to say is important.
Brother, is that you?
Everything that happened was a deliberate act to discredit me. I need to report the events so my sister can learn the truth about her brother. You have to understand, I don't share my house's hatred and distrust of Ashlanders. So, during my normal patrol, when I heard that Ashlanders had come to Balmora and were causing trouble, I was dubious to say the least. I arrived to find one of my soldiers arguing with the Ashlanders. He spat at them, called them savages. When one of the Ashlanders objected, my soldier drew his sword. Before I could intervene, my soldier's blade struck him down. I ordered the soldier to stand down, but he ignored me and stepped toward the second Ashlander. I killed my own soldier. I had to. Before I knew it, I was dragged before the Redoran Council and exiled. I never even got to say farewell to my sister. I believe I was set up for this fall, but I don't know by who. I came to this camp for shelter, but House Redoran's reach grows ever longer. Now Captain Briven's here. I'm going to talk to them, just in case I made this stone for my sister Vaya.
Oran! Damn it. What am I supposed to do now? Oran's not supposed to be dead. That wasn't the way this was supposed to end. What am I gonna do now? Damn Oran for leaving me that damn message! And damn him for dying on me! Gods, I miss my brother. I still don't understand. Oran said someone set him up to fall. Who would do such a thing? And why would they do it? Oran never wanted to hurt anyone. So that's why they exiled him? That's why they killed him? He was too damn good? That's the problem? We've got to find out who did all this. They won't get away with this. I won't allow it. Oh, I'll find them all right. And when I do, they'll pay for what happened to Oran. I swear by Mafala's sacred web and the first blood my blade ever tasted, I'm going to avenge my brother.
I agree with Ulran's assessment. Certainly sounds like someone led him into a situation guaranteed to make him fail. I can't believe he put this burden on Vaya, though. What was Ulran thinking? I didn't say that. I'm just not sure how to proceed. We're entering dangerous waters here, going up against House Redoran, and we don't even have a writ to protect us. I'm going to take Vaya and head back to our safe house in Balmora. They found our cave, but the abandoned basement is still secure. After that, I'm not sure. The Morag Tong has rules. If I break them, I'll have to deal with the consequences. We can't just kill with wild abandon. We follow a code. We only execute those whose names appear on sanctioned writs. If we kill respectable citizens without a writ, that's just murder. So, without proof and a proper writ, my hands are tied. You do that, but be careful. We're not sure who in House Redoran is involved, and I'd rather not see you wind up like these poor Ashlanders. Vaya and I still need your help to get to the bottom of all of this. We'll see you in Balmora, hero.
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them. You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Speaking of the tribunal, you have the smell of dog about you. I wonder why that is. Lord Vivek, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander. Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Aldrin is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother. My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead. Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't hesitate to attack without reason or provocation. No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku, though he's respected by most of the other Ashlanders for his wisdom and strength of will. He does hope to unite the tribes in a common cause, however. That's one of the reasons we've gathered here at Aldrin. My brother and I have always worked to help our people, and improve the Ashlander way of life. He used to believe that peaceful negotiation was the best path to accomplish this. Recently, however, things have become different. He's almost like... No, that's not something I'm ready to talk about with an outsider. Perhaps after you prove your trustworthiness and willingness to help us, then we can discuss my brother in more detail. Perhaps. That's not our goal, but the tribes will defend themselves if necessary. No, we hope to present a united front and show the houses the folly of the path they've embarked upon. Turning away from our forefathers and god ancestors has made them weak. The Red Exiles, they're violent, dangerous Ashlanders who were banished from their tribes and joined together to create their own clan. Chodala invited them to the gathering and went into the camp to talk, but he's been gone too long. I'm worried. As you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate, but they're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. It's unfortunate, but they'll leave you no choice. You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother? Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so... brazen. It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions. Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's a Nerevarine, and incites the tribes, while I try to keep them all from doing anything rash. You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander. And the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed to be gods, until they betrayed him. So our legends say. Nerevar united the Kaima and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the Tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivek's claims to the contrary. The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine. While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the Tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That's not the Nerevarine I believe in. He uses an Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to dissuade him from this violent course. All I know is that his new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically invincible, and swifter than the fastest Ashlander scout. Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's unreasonable, but I hate that staff. He calls it Sunara.
I can't believe Lord Vivek wouldn't see worshippers today.
He's a living god. I'm sure he was just busy. We should have waited longer.
How may I serve?
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. I expected you to return with Vaya, or present me with a time and place for us to meet. Tell me, Outlander, which is it to be? Complication? What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. But instead of results, you bring me excuses. No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vvardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me and go to those savages? Vaya was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me, if you would, Outlander. Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. Consider it payment for your efforts thus far. If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you've told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, make sure Vaya stays away from Balmora and House Redoran. It was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. House Redorin has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in. Redorin depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So, I sent Captain Briven to convince them otherwise. The captain serves House Redorin with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Briven had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. He'd have no reason to keep such news from me and the other counselors. I'll speak to Briven when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders. He's an exemplary soldier and an upstanding member of the House. Like me, everything he does is for the betterment of House Redorin.
Is what you said about my son true? Ulran is dead? Ulran was good at getting himself into trouble, but I never thought it would come to this. Please, Outlander, don't let the same thing happen to my daughter. I don't attend council meetings, so I wasn't there when they debated the fate of my son. But my husband assured me the proceedings were fair. Ulran received the punishment he deserved. At least that's what he told me at the time. I can't believe that my son did anything that required him to die. House honor be damned. I just want my children back home, safe and sound. My husband and the house can go to oblivion. All I care about right now is my children. They killed my son because he did what he believed was right. Now my poor Vaya is in danger. Eris can stand by the house, but he might have to do so alone.
Outlander, over here! Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Vaya must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you. Nayu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Vaya company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. Unless I can kill something, I'm very good at that. You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Vaya's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Nayu. One other thing, Nayu's job concerns House Redorin. That's why she didn't want Vaya to accompany her on this one. Vaya's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything, so keep your head low and try not to upset her. I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift. Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmora, or at least that's where I left her. But I didn't lock the door, so I suppose she could be anywhere by now. I suggest you hurry and get down there. Something about who Nayu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Vaya found out who Nayu's target is, and I don't want to know. Just go and talk to her, please.
Get out of here, Ashur. I don't need a nursemaid, no matter what Naru... Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Did Ashur send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is gonna find my dagger in their stomach. I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now. No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not going to solve anything. I know, but Nariu's writ. It involves a Redoran counselor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The counselor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Nariu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here. Well, Nariu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenum Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually. I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by counselors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy. That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life. Brivon's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Brivon were best friends, even if they argued from time to time. Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders, you name an issue, and Ulran and Brivon were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane. You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead. Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished? He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tongue. At least Nariu understands me. Mostly. I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch.
The beautiful darkness walks in the shadows between the moons.
I expected you hours ago, hero. It's not polite to keep an assassin waiting. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vea to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by the way? I know Vea wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help. First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulron's exile while I figure out how to deal with the Counselor. We need to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morog Tong will have my head. It's unusual, but not unheard of. True, most writs taken out against the houses target low to mid-ranking officials. The Grand Master is cautious when it comes to accepting such a high-profile writ. Apparently, though, this target has been very bad. Councillor Dovera has been conspiring with House Drez to promote the slave trade and avoid scrutiny by Redrin and Pact officials. She played a dangerous but profitable game, and her coffers were overflowing. Until someone noticed. I'm not privy to the laborious investigations that took place. In cases like these, though, the target usually becomes complacent and lets her guard down. She made a mess. Now I get to clean it up, for the good of Dunmer society. That's the question, isn't it? It nags at us the way the torchbug nags at the brave little scrib in those children's stories. Once we discover who Ulron's torchbug is, we'll have a clearer understanding of why they set him up and why he had to die. I'm not saying that. Accidents happen. But they certainly made sure Ulron was in the wrong place at the wrong time, both in Balmora and again in the Ashlander camp. In addition to whatever you can find here, we should also talk to Captain Briven. Briven's name keeps coming up. At the very least, he was Ulron's best friend once. He might be able to shed some light on Ulron and what happened to cause his exile. And I really want to know what took place after Ulron left us that message.